It's Halloween night and your friends gather to carve some pumpkins and enjoy a nice warm pumpkin spice latte. So basic, but so good. Then a friend says, hey, I got something we could all play. You think it's just a harmless game board, but no, you were very, very wrong. It's a Ouija board. You know, the wooden board with the letters that have been deemed as a gateway for communication between the earthly world and the spirit world. You freak out and decide to join in. As you each nervously place your sweaty palms on the magnifying glass in front of you, you ask the first question. It moves. And then, it moves again. Everyone jumps up screaming, while your scaredy-pants friend Samantha hides in the closet. We've all been there. But just how did this fun Halloween night spooky toy come to be? Rather than put our hands together in a circle over a magnifying glass, let's dive into some history. That ghost right behind you agrees. I see dead people. What's the true story behind the Ouija board? There's one fact that will really surprise you. Watch until the end to find out. The Ouija board was invented during the 19th century, 1892, by a man named Ouija Board. He named it as Ouija since its meaning has good luck in ancient Egyptian language, and also yes from the French and German words oui and ja. After his invention, it then took off and sales started to boom, becoming especially popular amongst Americans at the time. Interestingly enough, there were myths that centered around the concept of a Ouija board long before its invention. Around 1100 AD in China, the first mentions about the board were in the manuscripts of the Song dynasty. It was termed as an automatic writing method, and it was also called a Fuji method of planchette writing. The Quanzhen school under the Jin dynasty fully focused upon having a means of necromancy and communication between the living and the spiritual world. They performed these acts with proper religious rituals and other deity processes. This continued as a central process until it became forbidden by the great king of the Qing dynasty. Interestingly enough, during the world-famous American Civil War, the Ouija board was very popular. So many business mediums took over the concept of a Ouija board as a means of helping survivors get in touch with their dead relatives. Crazy, right? During the 1890s, the Ouija board was marketed as a fun dating activity, often displaying members of the opposite sex sitting across from each other at a table and playing the game of Ouija. After the 1890s, the Ouija board was seen as a commercial product, and people started to buy them for their own sake from businessmen and different independent distributors. There were actually a number of different people who got various patents for it. One of Ouija Board's first employees was William Fuld. He worked his way up in the company to become the only person in the world to have the most number of patents and copyrights for the Ouija than anyone else. At one point, he even had 21 resignations signed from 3 countries. Unlike Fuld, Ouija Board never received the recognition he deserved while he was still alive, and was thus buried in an unmarked grave in Green Mount Cemetery in Baltimore, Maryland. And in fact, in 2007, Ouija board collector and historian Robert Murch had his tombstone reconstructed into a Ouija board to honor his legacy. Fun fact, the etymology of the word Ouija as yes was created by Fuld in 1901 and is accepted and followed still today. Until his death in 1927, he had various designs for the Ouija board and even sued the works of other American businessmen at one point. Talk about a lot of voodoo getting tossed around in that kerfuffle. It is last said that on his deathbed, Ouija board manufacturer William Fuld uttered the words, "Never sell the Ouija board to his children." That's just plain creepy. During World War I, almost every household in the US had a Ouija board, and in 1922, Ouija board sales even outsold Monopoly. At one point during this time period, nearly every household in the USA had one either stashed in a cupboard or displayed on a coffee table. Over the years, the Ouija board continued to be a fun-filled and creepy ghost game that sparked fear in the American people. It started to be a topic of discussion in film and media. A great number of deaths and murders have been blamed on Ouija boards. Many of them were because of the 1962 portrayal of a haunted Ouija board in the film The Exorcist. In fact, after the release of the movie, there became a widespread fear in America of the board, and many Americans began throwing away their Ouija boards in fear of dark spirits. Jumping forward to 1991, the famous company Parker Brothers, known for the boards, was sold to Hasbro, which is the current patented brand for all the Ouija board's rights. Crazy enough, Ouija board sales went up by 300% in 2014 thanks to a low-budget Hollywood film titled Ouija. Even though many theories claim to know the origin of talking boards, so far, none of them have been able to provide proof. As a result, the true origin of the talking board remains a mystery. But we can all agree that the Ouija board remains a novel game, to this day, spooking all the little boys and girls across the world. Now, here's the fun fact that is going to surprise you. The science behind the concept of the Ouija board is called the ideomotor effect. Ideomotor actions are unconscious, involuntary motor movements that are performed by a person because of prior expectation, suggestions, or preconceptions. A person might know the answer to a certain question that is being asked to a spirit through the Ouija board, and then they'll move the planchette involuntarily, either alone or with others. The more people that take part, the more likely the board gives consistent and believable answers. Whenever a yes or no question is being asked, the same would happen, as your body might direct the planchette to an answer that you are subconsciously predicting, or that you know the answer of. So, is the Ouija board really a medium between us humans and the spirit world? Or is it all just a result of human psychology? Go test it out and find out for yourselves. Comment your experiences below. We'd love to hear. Thank you for watching this episode of Knowledge Dump. Like and subscribe, and as always, we believe in you.